Assalamu alaikum class. In this video we will learn exercise 5.6, the fundamental theorem of calculus. It basically helps to define the definite integral. The basic difference between definite and indefinite integral is that in case of indefinite integral we integrate a function and we get a function as an answer, but in case of definite integral we define some boundary points or some limit points that are going to define the functional value, not the function as an answer. So in case of definite integral we get a numerical value but not a function. So here is the statement of the fundamental theorem of calculus. If f is continuous on the closed interval ab and capital F is the antiderivative or the integral of small f on the closed interval ab, then we define the definite integral as the integral from a to b f of x dx is equal to capital F of b minus capital F of a. That is, whatever the answer of the integral is, we have to put the limits upper limit minus lower limit. So as capital F of x will be a function, so inserting some value of b we get a numerical value, and for x is equal to a we get another numerical value, and then we will get a numerical value or a constant number as an answer, not a function. That is, if integral f of x dx is equal to capital F of x plus c, then the integral from a to b f of x dx will be equal to what we are going to do. We are going to put the upper limit minus lower limit. So inserting x is equal to b we get f of b plus c, minus inserting x is equal to a we get f of a plus c. So this c and c will be cancelled out, so the final answer is f of b minus f of a. That's why in case of definite integral the constant of integration plays no role. So we are not interested, or we do not need to put the constant of integration as an answer, because we get answer in form of constant as well. For example, if we are going to integrate x dx from the interval from 1 to 2, so as we know that the integral of x is x square by 2, so inserting the value upper limit minus lower limit, this 1 by 2 will be as it is. Inserting x is equal to 2, 4 minus lower limit is 1, so 4 minus 1 is 3, so 3 by 2 is the answer for this definite integral. The next example is the definite integral integrating from 0 to ln of 3 5 e power x dx. So 5 being a constant will be taken out of the integral. Now we have to integrate e power x. So the integral of e power x is e power x. So inserting the value ln of 3 and then 0. So upper limit minus lower limit. We know e raised to the power ln of 3 will be 3 and e power 0 will be 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2 and 10 will be the final answer. As we know that the integral defines the area under the curve, so the definite integral will define the area between the curve and the interval a to b. So here we are having the curve y is equal to f of x, and here is the interval from a to b. So a definite integral will helps to define the area between this curve and the interval a to b. So here is the answer. Area will be represented as the integral from a to b f of x dx mod f of x dx, and this mod is just playing a role. We know that the area must be a positive term, so in order to make it positive we are inserting the mod of f of x, and this interval from a to b is defined to be over here, because we want to find out the area between the curve and the closed interval a to b. For example, we have to find out the area between the curve y is equal to 1 minus x square and the x-axis over the interval 0 to 2. It means our the limit points a to b are given to be 0 and 2. So by definition the area is going to be integral from 0 to 2 mod of 1 minus x square dx. Now how to deal with mod of 1 minus x square? We know that mod of x will be equal to x if x is greater than or equal to 0, and minus x if x is less than 0. So inserting the same definition over here, mod of 1 minus x square will be equal to 1 minus x square if it is greater than or equal to 0, and negative times of 1 minus x square if it is less than 0. So here solving it for getting an interval 1 minus x square greater than or equal to 0 will define to be the interval minus 1 to 1. So because here we are having the sign chart for this we have discussed earlier, so it is going to be positive in case of minus 1 to 1. So it means that 1 minus x square greater than or equal to 0 corresponds to the interval minus 1 to 1, and for less than 0 we are having two intervals minus infinity to minus 1 union 1 to infinity. That's why our definition is going to be that mod of 1 minus x square will be equal to 1 minus x square if x belongs to the interval -1 to 1, and it will be -1 minus x square if x belongs to the union of these two intervals. Now we are going to break our definite integral according to this definition or according to this break system. So as we are having 0 to 2 mod of 1 minus x square, and we know that it is going to have different definitions at x is equal to 1, that is for greater than 1 we are having different value, for less than 1 we are having different value. Similarly, it is breaking its value at -1, but -1 is out of this limit or the interval. That's why 1 is playing an important role, and we are going to break our interval at 1. So 0 to 1 and then 1 to 2. This is a property of definite integrals, that we can break the definite integrals in so many parts. So 0 to 1, then 1 to 2, over all it is going to be 0 to 2. So we are breaking our interval according to the definition. So for 0 to 1, that is less than 1, here we have 0 to 1 belongs to this interval, so we are going to put 1 minus x square. And for 1 to 2, that is greater than 1, that is the interval 1 to infinity, we are going to put negative times of 1 minus x square. Now solving it according to the rules we have discussed earlier, and then putting upper limit minus lower limit, the final answer is 2. Here we have question number 14 from the exercise 5.6. We have to find out the integral from -1 to 2 4x into 1 minus x square dx. So we will take this 4 out of the integral, then -1 to 2x into 1 minus x square. At first we will simplify it to be x minus x cube, then integrate it. The integral of x will be x square by 2, and for x cube we will get x power 4 over 4 by using the power rule, and the limits are from -1 to 2. So putting upper limit minus lower limit, we get the final answer to be -9. Next we have question number 20 from the exercise, integral from 0 to pi by 4 secant square theta d theta. Now we know the integral of secant square theta is tan theta, so inserting the limits, upper limit minus lower limit, that is tan of pi by 4 minus tan of 0, it will be 1 minus 0, that is 1. Next we have question number 24, integral from 1 by 2 to 1 by 2x dx. So taking 1 by 2 out of the integral, we are having the integral 1 over x. We know that the integral of 1 over x is ln of x. So inserting the value or the limit, upper limit minus lower limit, the final answer is going to be -1 by 2 ln of 1 by 2. Next we have question number 32, part B, integral from 0 to pi by 2 mod of 1 by 2 minus cos x dx. So as we have discussed earlier, we are going to define the mod at first. So mod of 1 by 2 minus cos x will be equal to the same if this term is greater than or equal to 0, and negative times of the term if it is less than 0. So for greater than or equal to 0, solving this we get x is less than or equal to pi by 3, as we know that cos of x will be less than or equal to 1 by 2 if x is less than or equal to pi by 3, and for less than 0 we must get x is greater than pi by 3. So solving this further, we get x is less than or equal to pi by 3, then we get the same one, and for x greater than pi by 3 it is going to change its sign. So as we know that the interval is varying from 0 to pi by 2, that is 0 to 90 degree, and 60 degree appears in it. So we are going to break it at pi by 3 or 60 degrees. So 0 to pi by 3 and then pi by 3 to pi by 2. For 0 to pi by 3, that is less than 60 degree, we are having 1 by 2 minus cos x, and for greater than pi by 3 we are having cos x minus 1 by 2. So integrating it, as we know that the integral of 1 by 2 will be equal to x by 2, and the integral of cos x will be equal to sin x, and then putting upper limit minus lower limit and simplifying, we get the answer 1 minus the square root of 3 plus pi by 12.